Have you ever wondered what's really going on behind the calm, quiet doors of a modern medical clinic? Well, today we're going to pull back the curtain and explore the hidden architecture of systems that keep everything running smoothly and, more importantly, safely.
You know, when you walk in, you probably just see some chairs, maybe a few magazines. But underneath that calm surface, there is this incredibly complex, meticulously designed architecture of safety. So let's start by looking at how it handles the most basic challenge: taming everyday chaos. So first up, just think about it. How do you manage a constant flow of people, equipment, and information without the whole place just turning into a total mess? Well, the answer isn't just, hey, let's be tidy. It's a system, a really powerful one.
At the very heart of the clinic's organization is something called the 6S practice. It's basically a method for creating almost extreme efficiency, and it does that through these 6 principles: sort, set in order, shine, standardize, sustain, and the big one that ties them all together, safety.
And if that sounds a little intense, get this. One of the clinic's actual rules is no decorative plastic flowers. Why? Why would that matter? Well, because they're total dust traps. And in a medical setting, dust isn't just, dust. It's a potential home for germs. That one tiny detail shows you just how deep this system goes.
This is a perfect example of that set and order principle in action. Nothing, and I mean nothing, is left to chance. A ladder just sitting in a hallway isn't just clutter, right? It's a trip hazard. It's an obstacle in an emergency. So by giving everything its own designated home, the system makes sure it's exactly where you need it, when you need it, and safely out of the way when you don't.
And this system, it gets personal. It drills right down to individual workspaces. The rule is, a desk center drawer is only for documents, top drawer for stationery, bottom for personal stuff. So why the obsession with this? One word: standardization. It means anybody can find what they need in a pinch, and it builds this culture where order isn't an effort, it's just the default.
Okay, so taming chaos is one piece of the puzzle. But a clinic is also a battlefield. A battlefield against enemies you can't even see: pathogens. So how does this architecture of safety fight those invisible threats? The core strategy is something called universal precautions. And the idea is really simple. You operate under the assumption that any patient could be carrying an infectious disease. It's not about singling anyone out. It's about creating a universal shield, a multi-layered defense system that covers everything from hand hygiene to how you throw away the trash. I'm sure we've all seen a poster like this 100 times, right? But have you ever really stopped to think about why it's so specific? This isn't just a friendly reminder. It is a mandated, standardized procedure. Every single step is designed to clean a specific part of the hand that just simple, quick rubbing is going to miss. This is the absolute front line in that war against infection. And believe me, the stakes could not be higher. When a staff member has clean hands, they're protecting their next patient, they're protecting themselves, and really, they're protecting the integrity of the whole clinic. Contaminated hands? Well, they can undo every single other safety measure in an instant. It's that simple. And that critical. All right, so the clinic is orderly, the clinic is clean. But what happens when all of that quiet calm is completely shattered by an emergency? How does this whole system perform when a life is on the line and every single second counts?
Code Red! That's the phrase that changes everything. It's the clinic's universal signal for a medical emergency. And when it's called, there's zero confusion. Everyone knows exactly what their role is.
There's this amazing philosophy that really guides everything here. In an emergency, you don't rise to the occasion. You fall to the level of your training and systems. A Code Red isn't about chaos and heroics. It's about activating a highly practiced plan, where every single move has been thought out ahead of time. And a huge part of that plan relies on tools like this emergency cart. Now, the magic here is that its layout is identical in every single clinic. So a doctor could walk into any branch, open drawer 1, and know without a single thought exactly where the adrenaline is. This standardization just erases guesswork. It's all muscle memory, and that saves precious, precious seconds. And the system goes even one step further with this really smart color coding. In the heat of the moment, that red background instantly screams emergency drug. It's such a simple visual cue, but it's designed to stop a tired, stressed-out clinician from grabbing the wrong medication. Just another brilliant piece of safety architecture.
But look, systems and procedures are only as good as the people who use them. So, for our last section, let's look at how the architecture deals with the most unpredictable variable of all, us.
How does the system learn? How does it adapt? And how does it hold itself accountable?
The answer is something called clinical governance. You can think of this as the brain of the entire operation. It's this big framework that makes sure all the other systems are actually working. It's not just about following the rules, it's about constantly asking, how can we do this better? How can we be safer?
And you can see this in practice with their super rigorous incident reporting system. Just look at the speed required for severe incidents. A medication error isn't treated as some mistake you have to hide. Nope. It's treated as a crucial piece of data. It triggers an immediate report and analysis because the whole system is designed to learn from its failures so they never, ever happen again.
And that accountability is totally built in. Remember that 6S system from the very beginning? It is not just a poster on the wall. Clinics are put through these rigorous audits. If a clinic scores below 60, it's officially not satisfactory, and they have to create an action plan. This makes sure that the standards are being actively maintained day in and day out.
So from the absence of plastic flowers all the way to the color of a medicine label, you start to see that every single detail is like a brick in a much, much larger structure. These systems, they all work in the background, totally unseen by most of us, but they form the very foundation of safe, effective healthcare.
And it really makes you wonder, doesn't it? I mean, from the traffic lights on your way to work to the building codes of the office you sit in, we are all surrounded by this invisible architecture of safety. So the question is, what systems are keeping you safe every single day that you might not even realize are there?